Now that we understand the differences between fills and strokes, we're ready to start applying that knowledge here in a real-world application. Let's say, for instance, that an artist has sent me a rendering of my mascot or logo, like you see here. They've sent me a rendering of it, but it's basically a wireframe, and I need to apply fills to this object based on colors that I choose in order to make it come to life. So I'm working on this fills start document, and if I hop over here to the fills finish document, you'll see exactly what I'm trying to create. I'm going to be coloring in the bear just like this. Essentially, what you're thinking of here is just like a coloring book when you were a child. You're going in and you're just staying within the lines and filling it with the colors that you want. The first thing you have to do before you start applying fills is you actually have to have an object selected in order to apply fills to it. So I'm going to select this ear piece, for instance. The first thing I'm going to do is turn off the stroke. If you notice in the finished document, I don't have any strokes. I use differences in color to let you see exactly where certain pieces of the bear start and stop. So I'll go back over here. I've got the ear selected, and with the stroke active, I'll go ahead and click None to make sure there's no stroke. I then have to make the fill active, and I'll come over to my swatches panel, and I'm going to find a fill. And in this case, I'll fill it with this kind of medium cyan, just like so. After I do that, I can click away to see the results. Now I'll come right here and I'll fill this inner ear piece. Again, I'm going to turn off the stroke, select the fill, and this time it needs to be sort of a lighter blue. So I'll pick this one here and fill it. These can be any colors you want though. I encourage you to get creative with this. If you want to have a pink bear, go ahead and make him pink. This is totally up to you. I'm simply making it blue because I'm following the finished pattern. Now let's color in the hat. I'll select both of these objects here just by clicking and dragging across them. And I'm actually just going to make one single change here. You'll notice that I have no fill, but I have a black stroke. Watch what happens when I hit this little toggle switch here. It automatically switches the fill and the stroke. So now there's no stroke and I have a black fill. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the hat filled with that black color. Click away from it to deselect it. I'll then select both of the eyes, holding down Shift to select both, and I'll do the same thing. Swap them so that they're both black. Then I'll select the inner eye, and I'm actually going to take off the stroke and fill it with white, just like that. Now I can actually fill the nose, the mouth, and the goatee all at one time. So I'll take these, click on one, hold down Shift, click the other, and the other. Then we'll reverse the fill and stroke. Instantly changes over. As you can see, we're getting pretty close to our finished product. Let's switch back over and continue working. I'm going to color in the face now, so I'll select the entire face, this big circle, take off the stroke, select the fill, and I'll pick this darker cyan color. Now I'm ready to work on the other ear. I'll select the inner ear first, no stroke, go to the fill it with the lighter blue. Once I filled it with the lighter blue, you're going to notice that a problem actually happens. I've filled the entire ear with one color, and that happened because I didn't actually have these objects ungrouped. So if you have objects that are grouped together and you pick a color from the swatches panel, it automatically adds that color to both objects. So what's the way around it? Well, you can always ungroup by using Shift-Command-G on your keyboard and then reapplying the color. In this case though, I'm going to hit Command or Control Z on my keyboard or Edit Undo, and then I'm simply going to double click on the path. That's going to allow me to jump into isolation mode. Isolation mode, if you remember, makes sure that you don't actually ungroup the objects, but allows you to get to them individually. So I'll select this small circle, and I'll fill it with the lighter blue, and I'll select the big circle, and I'll fill it with the darker blue. When I double click the canvas, it jumps me back out, and my bear is ready to go. The final piece of the puzzle here is going to be right here, the mouth area. So I'll take off the stroke, and I'll fill it with a really light blue. Once I do that, I'll click away, and let's look at the start file versus the finish file. As you can see, I've actually inverted the colors on mine, but I think it looks better, the lighter blue versus the dark. So my finished product here, I think looks better than the original. But it's up to you. Remember, when you're applying fills and strokes, the possibilities are endless, and it's always a personal choice. So take your time, practice a little bit with this, and you'll be well on your way to filling your artwork with great color.